Anybody who has embarked for the Isle of Wight from Southampton will recognise the location as the present-day Red Funnel Terminal. On the shoreline, the tall white building with pillars in the centre is the Royal Southern Yacht Club, and on the right is the medieval Wool House, which today is the site of an independent brewery. Between the two buildings is Bugle Street, leading to Southampton's Tudor House Museum, and in the background is the spire of St Michael's Church, the oldest building in Southampton. As the LST, or landing ship tank, affectionately described also as a large, slow target, moves away from the berth, just out of sight on the left is the Royal Pier, sadly destroyed by fire, but today it is still possible to see the wooden dolphins in the water used to guide landing craft ashore at what was designated during D-Day as Embarkation Hard S2. As the LST turns seawards, the film pans along the Southampton town quay. Today all the cranes have gone and it is made up of offices and coffee shops, with a plaque that reads D-Day 1944-1994, in commemoration of the men and women of the city whose work in Southampton docks and elsewhere made possible the invasion of Europe. Below that plaque is another that reads the 5th of June, D-Day 1944 to 1994. In warehouses that stood on this quay lived some of the men of combined operations, whose ceaseless efforts made possible the embarkation of millions of men and thousands of tons of stores for the invasion of Europe. Some may be surprised to see that although the passengers appear to be mainly British, the LST has a US Navy crew and skipper. Yet this idea represents a misconception regarding the separation of Allied forces. Southampton was the springboard for Operation Overlord, with the US Army headquarters, BUCO, or the Build-Up and Control Organisation, based in a wing of the Civic Centre, and the British headquarters in the Southwestern Hotel, which was codenamed HMS Shrapnel. In fact, cooperation between the Allies was essential for the success of D-Day, and both groups were in daily contact, sharing both men and resources. A reflection of the rapport between Allied forces can be seen on the decks of the LST as it heads to the Normandy coast, with an American serviceman who, at first glance, seems to be demonstrating unarmed combat, but is in fact showing a British soldier the latest dance craze. Although there is no date on the film, the Solent is still crowded with Liberty ships and landing crafts, suggesting that the crossing is taking place around the time of D-Day. There is also a LCT following the vessel, possibly as an aid to navigation or for protection. Unfortunately, there are no identifying features in the film, so there is no way of knowing the fate of the LST passengers or crew, but they too can be remembered together with the millions that made the same journey and are mentioned in the memorials.